Hey everyone, and welcome back to some more esports talk. As always, my name is Hunter, and thank you so much for tuning in. Now, we've actually got some more Dota news thanks to the drama surrounding the Singapore Major and everything that has been going on with it. Now, before we start though, guys, I think we need to get serious, right? I think we need to be honest with ourselves, and we all know that we've been down bad before, right? We've been down just catastrophic, right? We can all agree on that. But one player for Team Aster has actually been removed from the Singapore Major because he was down so bad that he ended up soliciting a prostitute in China. This news was posted to the Dota 2 subreddit, where we see them say that Boboka was just arrested for soliciting prostitution in Shanghai, but that someone with a not great reputation had posted it, so people were questioning its validity. Then Team Aster made the announcement that Boboka would be replaced by their assistant coach due to personal reasons, which more or less confirms that at least something was going on, and it seems as if he even admitted to the police immediately, saying that he had paid around $400 for sex. And I mean, I can only imagine that Boboka will probably have a pretty rough time, in the series and in the region from now on, being that he will likely get memed on for this, for the rest of his time playing, I would imagine. In China, it is illegal to do this, and so he will at least be detained for, I think it was something like 5 days is the minimum, and so that would make sense as to why he could not participate in the major anymore. Now, this Singapore Major has had a lot of problems and drama surrounding it before this even happened. The event is being criticized as irresponsible by many, as players and talent have already been removed from the event as they have tested positive for COVID. SunsFan actually brought up these issues earlier this month.
Most teams from North America, South America, SCA, and CIS hope that the major will be canceled. But EU, basically, they're the ones that were given kind of the terms of what the major would be like, and they gave the okay, essentially, and that's why everybody else is just falling in line after the fact. So the sources I've talked to say that the teams that they've talked to are hoping that the major gets canceled, but they don't think it's going to be.
Because
in addition, well, because of the following.
Why do they hope it get canceled?
So there's a 48-hour quarantine upon arrival, which the typical is 2 weeks, right? So that's kind of a red flag already. Like, I it's hard to tell like what separates the decisions from PGL/Valve and then like Singapore, right? I think Singapore, from like a COVID standpoint, is doing really well, right? So it could be shielding them. Like a lot of the rules that they have, they make sense because they're shielding themselves from the players. Like the players aren't allowed to leave the hotel or anything like that. So that's understandable, right? But 2 days of quarantine, which you can't really test for that. That's too short of a time frame where you could already have it as you go, or you could catch it on the way there, like in the airports or something like that. In addition, teams are arriving staggered based on their seating. So some teams get there a lot earlier, some teams not so much. And then the reason that's important is because there's no PCs to practice on in the team rooms. And each team has a lot of times in the practice rooms, which I haven't been able to confirm how many computers that actually is. But combined with what I just talked about, it being staggered times, means that some teams just have no time to practice before their actual matches, like maybe half a day or something like that. So a lot of teams are like really upset about the conditions, essentially.
So it seems as if many teams were kind of just stuck in a position where they had to agree with the terms that they hadn't really even seen in order to participate in this circuit. And so kind of crazy to me, and even a step further is that many teams are having to withdraw on their own. At this point, I mean, we've seen big teams like Beast Coast and Na'Vi both have to make their own statements saying that they would not be participating any longer due to COVID. Na'Vi made their statement saying that they regretted to inform us that they have decided to withdraw from the One Esports Singapore Major 2021, with the main issue being due to COVID-19. And they go on in their statement saying that multiple players have tested positive for COVID since then, and therefore they would not be playing in the major. Beast Coast also posted saying that Stinger was exposed to COVID-19 this past week, which meant that the other 4 players may have also been exposed as a result, despite them testing negative and being monitored already. They even bring up the fact that because the quarantine period is so small, only 48 hours, that they can't be sure if they are positive or not before they fly to Singapore, and therefore they would be pulling out of the major as well. And so players are being exposed to COVID and testing positive, which is causing teams to have to, on their own, withdraw from this event, which is pretty crazy to me if you think about it, but it's hard to place blame on any one party in this situation. Because I think the natural instinct, right, is to say, these organizations shouldn't have gotten involved to begin with. They should have said no. But if you look at it from, a financial or competitive point of view, it's hard not to want to participate in the first major of the year. And so then maybe you're like, well, it's also the players' fault because they didn't really maybe follow the rules. Like, we don't know. They might have broken some of the rules that were put in place to protect them. Or is it, Valve's fault for even having this event and only having a 48-hour period to begin with? It's not even the normal 2 weeks. And so it's just kind of crazy all around to think about and try to figure out who do you even blame in this situation for what's happening, and whose responsibility is it to say, hey, enough is enough. We shouldn't do this event at all at the end of the day. And then with Riot Games hosting events for both League of Legends and Valorant soon, we will definitely be on the lookout to see how this Singapore major pans out. I'm curious overall, if Riot can do this better than Valve can in this situation. Like, what if this goes horribly? Maybe more players might end up testing positive for COVID as the event goes on, and then Riot has their event, but no one gets COVID. And so what is that going to say about the two companies? And people are obviously going to be comparing it. So overall, just curious, but hey, moral of the story here, watch out for COVID. And if you manage to watch out for COVID, hey, watch out for prostitutes, because you never know, I guess, when you're going to solicit a prostitute I don't know. Guys, just listen to me. At the end of every video, all I say is be safe, be smart, and behave, right, guys? Come on, just be safe, be smart.